Elizabeth Warren, The Two-Income Trap, Why Middle-Class Parents Are Still Going Broke. Have you ever considered the broad implications of the increase in two-income families and its impact on society? Elizabeth Warren's book, The Two-Income Trap, Why Middle-Class Parents Are Still Going Broke, delves into the hidden dangers faced by middle-class families in the face of bankruptcy. The summary of this transformational book unpacks how women entering the workforce in the 1970s did not advance family stability and financial security as initially anticipated. In fact, the financial distress on families is now more significant due to substantial fixed expenses and vulnerabilities they face. The book dispels various myths surrounding the spending habits of American families, exploring the significant issues responsible for the two-income trap.
The hidden danger of bankruptcy. America's middle class is struggling to survive financially, and bankruptcy is becoming a common reality. Unlike divorce, which is talked about openly, financial distress is considered shameful, leading to a lack of support or acknowledgement from society. Women entering the workforce promise to enhance family stability and purchasing power, but instead, two-income families have less disposable income than their 1970 counterparts due to increased fixed expenses. As a result, families are more vulnerable and closer than ever to financial collapse. The impacts of financial distress on children are as serious as those of divorce, but the problem is widely ignored. It's a mistake to blame families for problems caused by corporations and government, as financial distress is sweeping through suburban and city neighborhoods alike. Trapped middle-class mothers. In a single-income family, the stay-at-home mom serves as an all-purpose backup from taking care of children to caring for elderly relatives. However, in today's society, the middle-class mother is trapped between affording to work and quitting. A two-income family has no safety net as the loss of either salary can lead to financial disaster. Even single mothers struggle to make ends meet with a single income. Despite the conventional wisdom of Americans spending frivolously, the system that victimizes middle-class families needs to be changed. Calling for the return of the stay-at-home mom or tightening family belts further is no solution. Instead, the underlying problems need to be addressed to bring change. The hidden costs of debt. American families' debt problems do not arise from frivolous expenses, contrary to pundits' claims. Instead, the rising cost of housing and education-related expenses push middle-class families into bankruptcy. In fact, expenses such as clothing, food, and major appliances have decreased significantly since the 1970s. Families balance out increased spending on items such as computers, telephones, airline tickets, and home entertainment with savings in other areas. While new cars are more expensive, they are also safer and last longer. The cost of an average home for a family with children has risen 78% since 1984, driven significantly by the demand for homes in good school districts. The costs of education extend beyond housing and include preschool and college education. As a result, many parents are driven into bankruptcy in their pursuit of providing a good education for their children. This book dispels the myth that frivolous spending is responsible for American families' high levels of debt and credit problems, instead highlighting the hidden costs of debt. The truth about bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is not always the result of irresponsible behavior. Medical bills, job loss, and divorce are the main reasons why families with children file for bankruptcy. The bankruptcy system does not erase all debts and leaves long-lasting consequences on an individual's credit report. Instead of blaming families, policymakers must focus on addressing the root cause of bankruptcy, such as healthcare costs, job loss, and inadequate education. The unintended consequences of deregulation and credit culture. The 1970s saw the mass entry of women into the workforce and an increase in divorce rates, leading to a surge in the cost of a middle-class lifestyle. Meanwhile, corporations' use of layoffs and lack of job security contributed to financial distress caused by unexpected medical bills. Deregulation of interest rates in 1978 allowed lenders to offer high-interest rate loans. Anyone could get credit easily, leading to unsustainable levels of debt, foreclosure rates, and bankruptcy filings. Lenders profited from lending to subprime borrowers, and some even engaged in illegal practices such as redlining. The credit culture experiment has failed, and urgent solutions are needed to address these economic crises. Solutions to alleviate financial distress and bankruptcy. Financial distress and bankruptcy can be mitigated in the United States through collective action and policy changes. The first step is to raise awareness of the issue, which mostly remains hidden due to the shame associated with it. The lending industry preys on minority neighborhoods for profit, and policy changes are necessary to ensure fair and equal treatment for everyone. The government should give tax incentives to encourage savings and make disability insurance mandatory and universal. Interest rates should be capped to cut the profits of predatory lenders who target vulnerable borrowers. To assist families with education costs, policies like expanding free public education and providing school vouchers regardless of residential location can help stabilize housing costs. Families should prioritize paying for necessary expenses and consider surviving on one income. If facing financial difficulties, a strategic plan can help to outlast the crisis before considering bankruptcy.
After exploring the two-income trap summary, it becomes evident that the severe financial distress and bankruptcy facing middle-class families today are not caused by unnecessary spending habits, but by an array of factors such as housing, healthcare, and education costs. Elizabeth Warren exposes the issues surrounding the entry of women to the workforce in the 1970s and sheds light on the unintended consequences, particularly in the context of financial vulnerability. As a result, the author stresses the importance of collective public action and offers innovative policy solutions that can enhance financial security for families. An understanding of the critical points presented in this book will equip readers to better comprehend the underlying problems faced by the middle class and engage in transformative conversations on these relevant issues of our time.